like I finally followed the thread of the universe that was saying, reach out to Chloe. And when I met her in our first Zoom call, the exuberance that came into my being was so igniting. There was so much authentic joy that she just called out in my presence. I could read you her bio, and I'm sure that you have. But really, what I want to introduce you to is and how to introduce Chloe is the I'm like all the words that want to come just won't come because it's like it's so big. I want to make up words like magnanimous. I don't know what that word is, but there's a largeness and a presence and a freedom and a joy and a liberation that I feel so much. And so I'm not going to read her bio because she's going to lead us through an experience that tells you everything, and you've already read it. So, Chloe, without further ado.
Leah, thank you so much, and it's an incredible privilege to be with you. I feel as if I've known you for a very long time. And when you just said just now, just connect with what you feel most connected with at the moment, I just suddenly remembered this. This is a conch that I brought back from India quite a long time ago. And so I just thought to myself, I'm just going to play it. This is very, very precious to me. As you will be aware, this image, it really conjures up everything about listening and spiraling around the center of oneself as one listens, and coming into the central spine and connecting with the ascending and descending forces of the human voice, and really connecting with the human voice as a messenger of God. Whatever God means, it could be totality, it could be the reality, it could be, I love David Bohm speaks about undivided wholeness, which I really love. And so bless you and thank you, Leah, for bringing me into your already very deep existing field. And it is the field always, as we love with the voice, of course, to connect. And this field obviously starts with the human body, the field of the human body, which as soon as you go like that, as you can see, or oneself disappears beyond the screen of the film of one's life. So that field is very mighty, even if you were just to open your arms now and just be aware of the vastness of the field of your being. And as you're doing this, just bring your awareness up to the top of the head. Yeah. And just place a roof above your head. Okay. And just feel that. In fact, it's quite nice to do that. Whichever way your hands want to do that. It might be like that or like that. And just be aware of a line of energy that comes in from the cosmos down through the palms of your hands. And then just embraces all of you. And you can just hover above the surface of your body, but just literally bring your hands down, cross them over, and then just literally hover above the surface of the skin. There'll come a point where one arm goes under the next one, and just bless your whole body. Just bless it. It's like, my God, thank God for this. Yeah. So this field of awareness, which translated and concertinaed itself into what I came to call the 7 sounds of love. And so that really is the focus of our attention today. 7 sounds of love that are activated right through the body, through the 7 major energy centers of the body, of which there are many, 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 many. But we're just going to focus today on the 7. And I'd just like to introduce you also to my harmonium here, which you will be familiar with, probably many of you. This harmonium, which for me is like the ultimate relationship, because it just plays this unchanging note. And so this unchanging note is a very essential part of all communication in my understanding, which is, it symbolizes for me, because you can make this drone with this instrument, it symbolizes unchanging presence. And then you can add all the different colors of the human soul from this just one unchanging note. And it's because of the presence and the locality of that note that we come to understand and become conscious of all the other notes in the building. And so this house of song, which is what the human body is, we're going to be exploring your house of song and how these 7 sounds of love live in the different stories, as in floors of your house. So that's the ground floor, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. And then there's a mysterious 8th, which if you are in the Western world, that 8th we've come to call the octave of consciousness. And in Western music, we speak about octaves, 8ths. I really like 8ths, by the way. That's a whole other conversation. I'm just looking if any of you know about building octagons or have any interest or knowledge of that. Please do let me know, as I'm looking to create one to live in. So this octagon, as it relates to the 7th, is like the roof of the building. So in our culture, we talk about the octave, we have these other notes, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But today, I want to focus with you on the Indian mantras of those very same floors of consciousness that exist within the human body. And those mantras, if you come from India, which I do, from the inside out, that is, it may not be so apparent on the outside of my body. I look like a kind of white middle class, spiritual shopper. But on the inside, we may all have had this experience of like when you land in another country, you suddenly, or culture, you suddenly feel like, oh my God. And when I landed in India in 1987, when I was about -10, I'd never forget just coming out of the airport and somebody offering me an orange from a cart, just a cart. And he gave me the orange and we just bowed to each other, And I realized I'd landed in my country. So the field. Let's just come back to this field of yours and let's really explore it in the next 2,000 years, which is apparently 2 hours, right? Which is in about an hour and 3/4. Okay. So in a previous incarnation, I was very lucky to walk about with somebody called Coleman Barks, who is a wonderful Rumi poet. Many of you may be familiar with his versions of Rumi. And he would just throw a poem out and then require me to sing it. And when he first sounded the field, that poem that's become so well known now, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. I remember saying to him, would you mind if I just add one word in there? singing, because that for me would then make it kind of really resonate with the field as I understand it. And he just looked at me in his most generous way. I mean, one of the most generous people I think I've ever met. And just said, do what the hell you like. So I thought, okay. So it goes like this. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong doing, there is a field, a singing field. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. Beyond ideas of right and wrong doing, there is a field, a singing field. I'll meet you there, or even here. I'll meet you here. I'll meet you here. Just a few notes, aren't there? That's all that's going on. So it starts in the fifth, right here in the middle of the throat. The fifth interval, the fifth sound of love, which is all-inclusive love. It's like, I am all and anybody's, and I'm willing to speak my truth. Beyond ideas. Then it goes up to there. It goes up to the sixth. And the sixth is service. The sixth is service. And the sixth is going, I'm completely available to you, universe. And I just want to just catch all of you in my sword and bring you down into the third eye of my consciousness, into my eyes, insightful, compassionate, loving sense of service. And that's all I want to do. I just want to be here for the rest of time. Just enjoy. So we did this to begin with, okay, coming right out to the edge of your field. Just bring your hands together now and join them up at the top, okay? And then, like you're catching the cosmos in your hands, and then just bring them down, 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 down. Just like you're drawing the cosmic golden line of the universe back into your hands. You've caught it in your hands. And just feel what that feels like. And then just let it out a bit. Let it out. So it's not a kind of Hindu or Christian prayer mudra. It's more like that. So now you have a sword in your hand. Okay? Out beyond ideas. So this mudra is all about the willingness to go beyond oneself, to go somewhere one has never been. And if you literally had a sword in your hand, which you would if you worked with us for some time, you would look to the end of that sword and you would connect the end point with your third eye. Just have that awareness now. So you're looking out, and just so you're looking out far beyond. And your voice itself is capable of moving right around the entire universe. Where does it come from? Where does this voice of yours come from? That there is a faculty of attention inside you that can send it very far. And boy, do we need to learn how to do that right now in this time on Earth. Not necessarily to do it as an angry protesting force, but as a compassionate service of love. So that's what this mudra is. So those first two notes of that song came to me when we were just singing it. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just singing it. And those were the notes that showed up. So I started here, I went to here, and then it came down to here, right into the middle of my chest. So it went out beyond ideas of right and wrongdoing. So it came back to source, first of all. Yeah? Right back. Doing. So just bring your awareness now, bring all your doing back down into the middle of your feet. Just sound it. Doing. And just let all that doing disappear beneath your feet, down into the roots of the earth, 1,000 miles down. And just feel how rooted you are there with all this incredible work you're doing together. Some of us coming in, dropping in, but working in similar ways elsewhere. Always we know we have to start here. We have to bring our doing back into being. And just really feel that. I'm going to continue singing the song, but I want you to hear it from your earth feet. There is a field, a singing field. And then I heard a note that really gave this song its magic. And it's that note. La, da. And that's the note of the heart. There is a field, a singing field. I'll meet you there. So that is what we call the fourth interval, the interval of the heart center. Okay? But it's not just any old heart feeling. It's like, you know, when you open your hands like this, just enjoy opening your hands like this now. Because this is our expression, our gesture for the heart. And this gesture actually means offering flowers. Can you feel that? Can you feel almost like there's a triad between your right and left hand and the center of your chest? Can you feel that? And breathe into that and breathe into your hands. Oh, and just say yes. Say yes to your voice from the center of the chest. Yes. And that note in the Indian scale is called Ma. And just see how it feels now to open your hands out a little bit more so you can expand that sound. Ma. So the hands are just expanding the musical note, but it's actually expanding the feeling from the center of your chest. Just try taking the sound ma, ma, and just send that all out to each other. Ma. Isn't that cool? If you're in gallery mode, you can actually just all see each other just doing that. Ma. That's gorgeous. Now, what we do in our work is we go out into the street. And you know, like where you have to social distance? Instead of just standing there kind of avoiding people's gaze, you go, ma. It's like in that West Side Story moment, you know, when it goes, Maria. That is the feeling. That is ma. Can you feel that? Can you feel that in the center of your chest? You know, when this session closes and you go back to your, wherever you are living, just whoever you meet, whether it's your partner or a child or an old person or yourself in the mirror, just go, ma. And in a minute, we'll place all of this in context. I've never, ever done this before like this. We're doing everything back to front. Normally, I would be giving you a very well-organized introduction to the 7 sounds of love, starting at the root, moving into the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. What we seem to be doing is coming from the universe down in. It's what happens, isn't it? You know, sometimes some of us are sky dancers, which I tend to be. Some of us are earth dancers. So earth dancers, our work is to learn how to ascend. Sky dancers, our job is to learn how to bring that ascending energy down, which is why I love the 7 sounds of love, because they just bring you up and they bring you down. All right, I'm going to come back to this song one more time, and I'd like you just to consider singing it so that you can learn it off by heart immediately, out beyond ideas of right and wrong doing. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong doing. Let's just sing that all together. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong doing. Beautiful. Then it goes, there is a field. Let's sing that all together. There is a singing field. Let's sing that. A singing field. Then it does this kind of wiggle. It goes, a singing field, which is really what nails that heart center. It just really, nail is not the right word to use, but really captivates the heart center. There is a field, a singing field. Let's do that again. Really enjoy it. It's like that kind of crazy frenzy you get when you fall in love. You know that one? There is a field, a singing. is the absolute punchline. I'll meet you there. Let's sing that all together. I'll meet you there. Beautiful. And it's so important that you have to sing it again. I'll meet you there. Let's sing that all together. I'll meet you there. And then you really sing it. You just let the cosmos take it and bring it back. I'll meet you there. Let's do that again. I'll meet you there. So we've just moved from romantic love up into cosmic love, and it's all coming together. And this is what we're all about, isn't it, really? This is why we work with Leah. I think I'm just going to join your group, actually. Beyond ideas of right and wrongdoing, there is a field, a singing field. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. One more time. Beyond ideas of right and wrongdoing, there is a field, a singing field. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. And then you can just take the words away. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. And then you can just hum it, bring it right inside your body. And you can just sing it to ooh. So just take a big breath. That was just such beautiful singing. Isn't that amazing to feel we're just in one room, one global room? Thanks to Leah, we're in this incredible room together that just has no walls. No walls. No religious walls, no political walls, no duality walls. We're just in this place. We've been here for thousands of years. It's amazing, isn't it? So let me just come to the absolute reason why we're here today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can hear that 7 is kind of interesting. Just try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, wait a minute. There has to be an 8. But in India, that is 1. It's 1 again. And so they are just completely what I love about that, as in all the mystical traditions, of course, is that there is only one of us. So they love that. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And we go, well, you know, in our very diplomatic, strategic Western culture, we like to move on. You know, we have that kind of idea that there has to be an 8. And of course, that is a very powerful number too. But today we're just staying with that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And this may sound completely ludicrous, but I do actually spend considerable amounts of time standing with my harmonium at the bottom of escalators, in supermarkets, shopping malls, singing to people coming down the escalator. You call that the escalator, I think. And as they're coming, so they're coming in at the top, they think they're coming shopping. And then they have this completely mad bag lady at the bottom of the stairs who's singing, how I love you, oh, how I love you. So by the time they get to the bottom, I kind of, you know, I have to kind of give some kind of reason for being there, because you can see they're completely disoriented. So I bring a kind of, I've got the kind of clip thing, and I say, we're doing this really serious research into the impact of the human voice in the world at this time. So we're very interested to know, how do you feel about your voice? You see? And so it's really cool because people go, well, I don't know. I'm not sure I've got one anymore. And of course, I'm actually, you know, I'm not wearing a mask. Sometimes I wear a mask, I kind of behave and I just have it just under my nose. So it looks like I'm wearing one. So forgive me if there's anyone here who is very sort of pro-mask. I will do that if required, but less and less likely to do it. So that is fine. That's absolutely fine. I love people that wear masks, because also if you wear a mask, what that does is it brings your attention inside. You know, that is a whole other conversation, which we won't be having today. And there is beyond ideas of right and wrongdoing. So where we are today is beyond whether that's right or wrong. We're just really interested in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'd like you just to copy me now and just do this. I learned this from somebody I learned singing from, who's a very serious singing teacher. And she asked me to do this. 1, you just go 1. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can do it like it's a love song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What we're doing here is a very serious connecting between the left and the right brain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How was that? That was really good. That was really, really good. And you can do it faster and faster and faster and faster. If you go to India, they will say, the first question they will ask you, right? A friend of mine who was an opera singer went and she decided she wanted to really learn Indian raga. And so she went over there and she was sitting with the Dagar brothers. Now, these like heavy duty, really amazing classical singers. So the first thing, the question they asked her was, what is your note? She was like, I beg your pardon? And they said, what is your note? So she first of all had to think, well, she said, I'm a mezzo soprano, sometimes soprano on a good day. And they said, no, what is your note? So this conversation went on for a while, and then she suddenly realized she needed to give them her note. Well, of course, in the Western world, we have many notes. You know, sometimes we're singing on A, sometimes B, G, F, E. In India, if you're really serious, you just have one note, like maybe two, okay? So that one right now is A. I'm using, that is my note. I love it, A, okay? Now, what we're now going to do is shift from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which sounds quite numerical and mathematical and not deeply soulful, although you can try doing it in a very soulful way, but it is actually just really great. If you're waking up in the morning and you just don't want to have to think about anything, you just start, you're brushing your teeth or you're humming, which, by the way, is the most incredible immunizing sound to hum. That's a whole other conversation. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you can just do it, you know, around the house. Thoughts are coming, thoughts are going, good thoughts, bad thoughts, happy thoughts, sad thoughts. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. And then sometimes if you're, you know, once you get into it, you can really start bringing the emotional feeling into the exercise. So it could be 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Or it could be 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know, I mean, you can just do it and you don't have to think. It's just lovely. It's very relaxing. But you're also, what you're doing is you're training your egoic mind to relax. And so the egoic mind, for many of us, has been saying, you haven't got a voice. Somebody told you to shut up and or leave the choir at some point in your earlier life, or a parent, God bless them, who was told by ancestral eons of parents that they didn't have a voice, and then they visited that on you, right? So we have these narratives. So, and yet right now, your voice is more important than anything. So if we can just have a really deep sense of how to make this journey through the 7 sounds of love today, we are giving the egoic mind such a gift. So what we're doing is we're saying to the egoic mind, okay, once and for all, We love you. You're great. You've done a great job so far. It's been brilliant. But we're now just giving you a new job. Okay? Now, the we, of course, is the witnessing faculty of attention that I'm aware you will all have because you've been working with Leah. So you will know what that is. I'm sort of going like that. It's that, for me, it's like that kind of intelligence that exists somewhere here, and behind me a lot of the time. It's like a sort of presence that just observes everything that's going on, and it loves it, and everything's perfect. It just loves everything. And so this faculty of attention is basically in conversation now with the egoic mind, which has just become like a little bird in your hand, and it's going absolutely fine. I don't want to get rid of you. This is not a kind of, really serious kind of get rid of duality conversation. Not at all. This is just saying we'd just like you to become more curious about what you're hearing, okay? To be fascinated, to just ask questions of what you're hearing of this amazing voice that's coming out of this body, okay? So the egoic mind, you see, it kind of starts to relax when it hears this 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. I was like, oh, it's right, it's that again. Okay, I've got to sort of calm down and just get ready to be curious today, okay? And get ready to be really curious about, wow, this voice that's coming out of me. Wow, amazing. So by the grace of God, I went to India in 1987, and India taught me these mantras, which when I came back to England were seen by a Japanese energy movement master. And he looked at me and he said he was hearing me singing in a concert, and I'd had this very transformative experience, and I was singing and I was singing, but I was so disembodied. I was ecstatic, but disembodied. And so this wonderful Japanese master came up to me at the end, and he just bowed. And he just said, I think I can see what you are doing. And I just come back to England. I was completely ecstatic. Everything was one and it was brilliant. But I was ungrounded in that knowledge. So I kept on being thrown off the floor and huge energy moving through the body, but I was ungrounded. So he said, you're sending your sound too far out there. Everyone's in the audience, they're going, where's she gone? So, and then he said, I looked at him, I said, oh my God, you're so right. He said, I will bring you down. I will bring you down. I will bring you down. And I have no idea to this day how that happened, but he saved my life. He came into my workshops and he started leaping through the room, sort of six feet off the ground. And slowly we all started, obviously not doing that, many of us, but we understood from his teaching that what goes up must come down. And so he started to say, he said, I don't understand why you're just sitting still singing. Why don't you bring these energy mudras into the journey right up the 7 sounds? And you may find something changes, you see? So we started doing this, but first of all, he listened very carefully. And to cut a very long story short, 35 years later, we've constellated this very simple practice, which starts with the 7 sounds of love, just starts with these energy mudras. So these are now sword movements. So if you had a sword in your hand, you'd bring it out. This one is called Sa. So what we're doing here is integrating these energy movements with this journey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right? And each of these we started to realize after one of my students worked with 9-year-old children. They said, oh, we know what you're doing, but we'll come to that in a minute, okay? So first of all, I just invite you to stand up and just have a good shake of your hands and shake the whole body. All the way through, okay? And that's good, really good. And then just enjoy bringing your hands together, rub your hands together. So you're making fire in between your hands. And then just bring that right down, bring that right through the whole system. Right up. Up, 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 up. High, 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 high. Bring that back down again. Great, fantastic. Good. And then just shake the legs out, shake your legs. You might just make that sound. Good, fantastic. And then just again, as we did at the very beginning, bring your hands over your head. This time, just let your left hand be above your right hand. And again, blessing the whole body. Okay? Until you get right back to the root, at which point the right hand moves around the left thumb and the left hand curls around the right fingers. And here we have the first sound of love, the source of love. Okay, and this is called Sa. And by the way, I understand that you've had an introduction to this with the wonderful Erin, who's another great friend. So I'm so excited that we can do this and you already have a good knowledge of this. So, Sa, just say Sa. Source of love, I am. I am. Okay? And just allow yourself to sink down into your feet. Close the eyes. Sa. Sa. And just do that a few times. Really enjoy it and send the sound through your hands down into your feet. Sa. Now when you're ready, just opening your stance and open your hands like two flowers opening. I open. And just find yourself saying, I open. I open. And this interval, the second, sexuality, creativity, is relationship. Imagine that your fingers are like laser beams. Is called spreading light. This mudra is called spreading light. I open. And the seed sound is Re. Re. I open. Re. So Re to Sa. Very good. Now I want you just to experience moving from the first, I am, feet together, eyes closed, opening into spreading light, Re. Sa. Sliding between the notes, but enjoy that. Sa. go to, so this is I am. Just say that again. Sa. I open. Re. And this next one, we're now going to move the energy up through to the third. Ga. Ga is I will. And you gather the energy. It's like you're gathering the fire in the center of the body, right here. I will. Yes. And watch it. So it's like soft fists. And it's like you are on a horse. So bring your elbows right back. Gather the energy. Bring it right into the solar plexus. Good. I will. And that seed sound is ga. So, ga. Yes, just enjoy that. Ga. Yes, and just find yourself saying yes as well. Ga. Fantastic. Can you feel the intention that comes into the voice without any effort at all? Just big breath, just breathe into the lower lungs. Ga. And then re. And back to sa. Sa. Fantastic. Let's do that again so you can really feel. What we're doing here is strengthening the whole realm of intention, what we call my will, making a very healthy, personal will, which all centers from this wonderful hara energy in the belly. Enjoy. Sa re ga, and then ga re sa. So starting at sa, sa. Now just try singing now. I am, I open, I will. And then back down again. I will, I open, I am. Very good. And just come back to the I am, source of love, sexual creative love, opening into Ray, and instinctual love, I will. Very good. So those are the first three sounds of love. And there are many songs that live right here, you know. And it's really fun just to make songs that only work with these three notes rather than going any further. But something quite extraordinary happens when you bring in the fourth interval, I give. The heart center. So let's start at the beginning. Remember we had that Ma earlier on I was sharing with you. The Maria. Now, we're shifting from my will, the instinctual will, personality, into thy will, into a sense of the heart brings in this more intuitive, empathic awareness of a wider field of loving with the heart center, right? So I give devotional love, intuitive love, whatever your name for this love is, okay? So Ma, Ga, Re, Sa. And you'll notice when you get to the Ma, just notice what happens to your heart center. Here we go. Sa. Gorgeous. So can you feel what that is? Just stay there a moment. Ma. I give. Here we are back at offering flowers. That's beautiful. Ma. Just enjoy hearing that a little bit more. And then bring that Ma, bring that intuitive love, let it be nourished by the Ga. Ga. Re, Sa. Beautiful, watching you all. You may want to be on gallery, it just depends what feels good. Now we move from offering flowers, intuitive love, to the sound of this one, which we started with, the field. Being aware of your field, this is Pa. Interesting that Pa follows Ma. So Ma in the heart, Pa, is the Sanskritic mantra for the throat center. Pa, the fifth interval. Can you feel that? Fantastic, how grounded you are once this is all really strong. Pa. I'm ready to sock it to the entire world. Yes, it's that, but it's that wonderful sense of I am at home in myself. I am completely available and at home in myself. And of course, what we have here is this wonderful juxtaposition between the ascending awareness and the horizontal awareness. So we're integrating the horizontal and the vertical realms. Pa. All-inclusive love. I share. I share. So, Pa. Notice all the time the reference point is this unchanging note. This unchanging note gives us everything in our life. It gives us everything. It gives us a relationship, a conscious relationship with everything. So, all-inclusive love, I share. Pa. When you come down into Ma, you tuck your elbows back and then Ma. Ga. Re. Sa. Beautiful. We're nearly there. We have just two more. So from Pa, we move from Pa, this complete openness and readiness for absolutely everything. we gather the hands above the head and we come down into the third eye, the sixth interval, and that sound is da. Sa-re-ga-ma-pa. And one step up, da. So you will have your hands are just slightly forward. Sa-re-ga-ma-pa-da. Good. This is the interval of the third eye, the pineal chakra, the insight chakra. Sa-re-ga-ma-pa-da. Yes. And then this we call compassionate love. This is the mudra and the Sanskritic mantra for compassionate love, service from here. Sa-re-ga-ma-pa-da. Then we move on up. I'm going to sit down, but don't feel you have to sit down. Into ni. Okay, the seventh interval is re-ga-ma-pa-da, ni. This is surrender, mystical love. Okay, sa-re-ga-ma-pa-da, ni. Do you notice how the vowel sound has changed from ah to e? And what I just noticed how that feels. If you just sa ni. Different feel. Sa-re-ga-ma-pa-da, ni. Just close your eyes and sing it and hear the sound. Sa-re-ga-ma-pa-da, ni. Very different feel, huh? Mystical love. The awareness, it's as if the awareness leaves the front of the face and it brings the awareness more back here. We're one breath away from union with the entire universe. So this we call mystical love, ni, and then opens into sa. Again. Sa. So mystical love moving into universal love. All right? Then you bring that all down into your body. Ni. Da. Pa. Ma. Ga. Re. Sa. And come back right down to source. Just let yourself be silent a moment. Take that awareness right down into your feet, back down into the earth. Thank you for your attention, everyone. Now I would like to invite you now. How are you doing? How's everybody doing? You okay? Yeah, good. I really thank you for your quality of your attention. I'm aware everybody's really concentrating. I really appreciate that deeply. So here's the thing. What I'd like to invite you to do is to, let's see, go into twos or threes, whatever Leah thinks is best, and just to practice the first three. Okay? So that's the sa, re, ga. And if you want to, into the ma, and then come down again. Ma, ga, re, sa. Okay? And at the same time as you're doing that with your partner or partners is to tell each other what you most love about your voice. What you most love, the qualities that you most love about your voice. All right? We have this precious short time together, so there's all kinds of other things we can do about all the voices that are forgotten or that we're not so sure about. But right now, just concentrate on the voice that you know you love so much about your voice, okay? What do you think, Leah? Do you think it would be good to be pairs, or usually we do triads? So one, yeah.
Yeah, I just put them in groups of three because I think I heard you say that.
Yeah, that would be cool. The good news about the triad, which I won't go into much detail, but you may be familiar with this anyway, is that it gives the chance for you to rotate just the roles of the one person demonstrating. So that would be the singer. Then one of you can be literally a witness. And so as the witness, we encourage you just to go into that lovely, this one, like the sword. And you just stay there with your sword, just unconditionally loving absolutely everything that the singer is doing. And then the other person in the triad is what we call the loyal friend, who's just going, wow, that was incredible. That was really amazing, or whatever. All right. So shall we have 15 minutes for this? Is that good? Okay.
That's good. We have a clarifying question.
Yeah.
From Anna. She's asking, I think, when you're what you're saying about speak about what you like about your own voice. Is that correct? Or about the partner's voice?
Well, could be both, actually. Could be both, but definitely talk about your own. This is all about you. But obviously, if you're the loyal friend in the triad, then you have a great opportunity just to really share with your partners what you most love about the sound of their voice.
Should we plan on each person having 5 minutes? Should I keep time for people?
That would be cool.
And maybe
Yeah.
we'll just say the person with the medium-sized hair goes first, so you don't have to figure that out.
I
To?
love that.
And they get left out. People with medium-sized hair often don't get to go first.
Oh.
Um, and Shard is asking, once we open, do we keep our feet apart?
So your feet are together in Sa, your eyes are closed. That's the only time the feet are together and eyes are closed. When you go into Re, the eyes open and your stance opens, and you stay open until you come back to Sa again. Okay? Great.
Welcome back, everybody.
Wow, how is everybody? How are you? Good? Yeah. Oh my God. Wow, you're the most gorgeous group I think I've ever worked with. That is so, it makes me so happy to see everybody so happy. We have a lot of lovely exercises around how do you feel and how does that make and how does that sound. So that's just a simple practice to take away, which is just not using any words. How do you feel and how does that sound? And that's it. Yeah. Yeah. And then that goes into the musical modes and all kinds of crazy places. You can start hearing the musicality of the individual, because many of us, we say, oh, I'm not musical. And that's because we've been trained, we've been schooled in a very narrow music education, which is all about performance and impressing people and entertainment. you know. So many people who have extraordinary voices, you know, poetic voices, soul voices, everybody has that voice. But, you know, they were thrown out of the choir, so they decided they weren't musical, you know. It's just crazy.
Chloe, I remember I studied voice professionally in New York City at a neighborhood playhouse, and there was a voice teacher there who said everyone can sing. And I remember being quite snobby, and I was like, not everybody can sing. Like, I honestly really believe that. And there was this girl that was there who's pitch deaf, and very afraid, just like traumatized by singing. And he said, "You will sing by the end of this year." And I remember thinking, this man is insane. And he said, "Singing is about listening." And he taught her how to listen. And she sang at the end of that time. And it really, like, it was such a humbling moment to really understand that it's so true that we all have a voice. And if we have a space to help us learn how to be with it, then there's a place for it.
So, consider this. First of all, you asked me what's my name. Chloë. All right. So that's just like we're having a conversation, all right? So you're asking about my name. Now, this is just a really simple practice. And so my personality came forward. Did you see that? Chloë, right? It wanted to kind of get it like, do you like me? I mean, do we like each other? Yeah. So, but more important than that is Chloë. And now I'm listening to the sound behind the label. Chloë. And I'm going to stay with that. Chloë. Now I'm hearing it's got a pitch. And I'm hearing that pitch more like in the middle of my head rather than here. Chloë. Now I'm going to make that a bit longer. Chloë. 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 Can you hear? I'm starting to shift from speaking into singing, what we call singing. But in our work, there's no separation between speaking and singing, but we do have to remember this thing because we were taught the speaking over here, which is the most important thing, and then the singing over here, which just a few people do if they've been trained and can do it properly, right? What we're saying is that is complete illusion, that whole storyline. There is just sound. There's just sound. Perhaps I was a bit lucky when I was a kid because I had traumatic surgery on my ears. And that experience involved me being deaf for about 3 years, partially deaf. But the great thing about it was that it got me really listening because I could only hear people half speaking for about 3 years. And then slowly but surely, that trained me to hear at this level we're now exploring. And there's this little book that I wrote. I mean, I never imagined I was going to write a book, but this is a book I wrote called The Naked Voice. And this circle kind of explains to me what it's all about. That's, in fact, if you just stare at that image, even more than the book itself, it was made for me by a calligrapher called Kazuaki Tanahashi. And he said, "I think this is what you do." And so that's what he thought The Naked Voice is.
And I'm putting that book in the chat box, but I'll also just say that she does do private sessions, which she calls something beautiful. What do you call them?
Voice lines. Voice lines.
Voice lines.
We call them voice lines, yeah.
What?
We have 3 voice line journeys. One is called Ignite, Imagine, Evolve. And we have an incredible team. I'm very blessed to say that we have a wonderful team of facilitators from all different parts of the world who are there. And you can find out about that in our website by just going to the Voice Line page. And they're really amazing. And I work there too. But they're kind of taking over because they're really good.
I'm going to invite you. Chloe has brought us so much today, and some of it is poetry. And I don't know about you, but I took down a bunch of her words, and you might want to do some free writes with them. And if you want to play with Earth Dancer, Sky Dancer, which one are you? This is such a powerful piece to understand who you are as a creator, and to really be able to start to wonder and explore and put words to something that you are already feeling and acting on. She gave us the House of Song. Oh God. What? Please somebody write a story and bring this to us. And the sound before sound. Oh, I mean, please. So if you feel inspired and you take one of these and you write something that you polish a little bit, you don't bring it to us in complete raw form, that you really bring something and you want to share it in next class or our final one, and it's under 3 minutes. I know all these restraints, but restraints are actually really, really good for creation. So you can email me and we'll have a way to play. So I invite you to do what we do, which is to anchor in what you are walking away with, dancing away with, singing away with, speaking away with. What are you anchoring in from your time these last 2 hours, which was felt quite timeless?
Well, thank you all, and thank you, Leah, so much for your beautiful, for creating this incredible field for us all to be in. Thank you. It's a great joy to collaborate with you.
Likewise, likewise, likewise.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.